Dear students and viewers, Assalamu alaikum. How are you? Hope all of you are fine. I am Mahmodul Hasan Masud, lecturer, Department of English, Narshindi Government College, Narshindi. I welcome you to my online class. Dear students, this is my third class on modifiers for the students of class 11 and 12 from their subject English second paper. I hope you will enjoy my class. Today's topics for discussion. Dear students, in my previous class I talked about intensifier, participle phrase, infinitive and infinitive phrase. Today I am going to discuss the following topics: appositive, prepositional phrase, relative clause, and I will solve a board question which I have shown you in my first class. The students, these topics are very important for doing modifiers. Hope you will enjoy my class. So let's start our class. At first, I am going to start with appositive. Do you know what is appositive? Let us see the definition of appositive. An appositive is a noun or noun phrase that sits next to another noun to rename it or to describe it in another way. So you can see an appositive is a noun or a noun phrase that sitting next to another noun, it renames the noun or describes the noun in another way. The word appositive comes from the Latin for to put near. So the word appositive comes from the Latin language. It means to put near. Let us see examples of appositive. Edison, Thomas Alva Edison, the inventor of the light bulb, is often called US's greatest inventor. You can see Edison is a name, a noun. The inventor of the light bulb is an appositive here because the inventor of the light bulb sitting next to the noun Edison, appositive, the inventor of the light bulb describes the noun Edison. It gives a new name to Edison. It describes Edison. We know Edison as the inventor of the light bulb. So the inventor of the light bulb, appositive, describes the noun Edison and it sits next to the noun, next to the noun Edison. That's why the inventor of the light bulb here is a noun phrase but acts as an appositive. Let's see another example. Kazi Nazrul Islam. We have to use an appositive of Kazi Nazrul Islam. Was born in 1899. I have used here the national poet of Bangladesh. So the national poet of Bangladesh, a noun phrase, it sitting next to the noun Kazi Nazrul Islam acts as an appositive here. So the national poet of Bangladesh is an appositive. It is an appositive of Kazi Nazrul Islam because it describes Kazi Nazrul Islam. It renames Kazi Nazrul Islam. That's why the national poet of Bangladesh is an appositive. Appositive as post modifier. Now we will see the uses of appositive as post modifier. Examples. First example, Rabindranath Tagore post modify the noun with appositive. We have to use appositive and it will act as post modifier. It will post modify the noun Rabindranath Tagore was born in 1861. So we have to put a noun or a noun phrase that will describe or that will rename Rabindranath Tagore. So I have used here a great poet. Rabindranath Tagore, a great poet, was born in 1861. Here, a great poet, a noun phrase, is an appositive and which has used as a post modifier because it sits next to the noun, after the noun. Saqib al-Hasan post modify the noun with appositive. We have to use an appositive which will act as a post modifier. Saqib al-Hasan is our pride. So we have to use an appositive into the gap. Saqib al-Hasan, I have used here a world famous cricketer, is our pride. So a world famous cricketer is an appositive that describes Saqib al-Hasan after citing the noun. That's why a world famous cricketer is appositive here. Professor Muhammad Habibur Rahman Akant post modify the noun with appositive, presided over the meeting. So we have to use an appositive of Professor Muhammad Habibur Rahman Akant, presided over the meeting. Here I have used Honorable Principal of the College, Honorable Principal of National Government College, presided over the meeting. So Honorable Principal of the College describes Professor Muhammad Habibur Rahman Akant, renames Professor Muhammad Habibur Rahman Akant. Here, Honorable Principal of the College is a noun phrase, acts as an appositive, and sitting after Professor Muhammad Habibur Rahman Akant, it renames Professor Muhammad Habibur Rahman Akant or it describes Professor Muhammad Habibur Rahman Akant. That's why Honorable Principal of the College, Honorable Principal of the College is an appositive here. Another example for you, dear students. Professor Jahanara Begum post modify the noun with appositive, delivered a very valuable speech. So we have to use an appositive that will post modify the noun, that will post modify Professor Jahanara Begum. I have used here Honorable Vice Principal of the College, Honorable Vice Principal of National Government College. So Honorable Vice Principal of the College is an appositive here that describes, that renames Professor Jahanara Begum. Dear students, I think you have understood appositive very well. Dear students, now we will know about prepositional phrase. What is prepositional phrase? Let us see the definition of prepositional phrase. A prepositional phrase is a group of words consisting of a preposition, its object, and any words that modify the object. Most of the time, a prepositional phrase modifies a verb or noun. Most of the cases, most of the time, prepositional phrase modifies a verb or a noun in a sentence. These two kinds of prepositional phrases are called adverbial phrases and adjectival phrases respectively. If a prepositional phrase modifies a verb, then we will call it adverbial phrase, and if a prepositional phrase modifies a noun in a sentence, then we will call it adjectival phrases. At a minimum, a prepositional phrase consists of one preposition and the object it governs. The object of a preposition can be a noun or noun phrase or gerund. I think you know what is gerund. A gerund is a verb form ending in ing that acts as noun, or the object can be a clause. Let us see some examples. Example, he has come from Paris. Look at the underlined words. From Paris. Here, from Paris is a prepositional phrase. I have used here preposition plus noun, from Paris. Second example is the book is on the table. Preposition plus noun phrase. On the table is a prepositional phrase, consists of preposition plus noun phrase. Next example, example C is I have quoted here everything from what he said. From what he said. From is preposition. From what he said is a prepositional phrase. Here I have used preposition plus noun clause. What he said is a noun clause. So the object of a preposition, what he said, noun clause is object here. I'm thinking of sleeping, preposition plus gerund. Thinking of sleeping of plus gerund. Gerund acts as noun here. Of sleeping is prepositional phrase. So from Paris, on the table, from what he said, of sleeping, all are examples of prepositional phrases. Dear students, now we will know the uses of prepositional phrase as post modifier. Let us see some examples. First one is Rana goes to school. Post modify the verb with prepositional phrase. So we have to post modify the verb go with prepositional phrase. So I have used here Rana goes to school in the morning. So in the morning is my prepositional phrase here, and it works as post modifier because it sits after the noun, after verb and modifying the verb go. So that's why in the morning is a prepositional phrase, acts as post modifier. My next example is the crow is flying. Use prepositional phrase to post modify the verb in search of water. So the crow is flying to and fro in search of water. Here my verb is flying. Flying. I have used to and fro after the verb flying. That's why to and fro is prepositional phrase. It acts as post modifier here. I'm giving you another example. The car is running at a high speed. The car is running at a high speed. Run is verb. At a high speed is prepositional phrase. Prepositional phrase at a high speed. After sitting the verb, it acts as a post modifier. Students, we will know more about prepositional phrase. You know, a prepositional phrase can function as an adjective or adverb. When it functions as an adjective, then we call it adjectival phrase or adjective phrase. When it functions as an adverb, then we call it adverbial phrase. We will know about prepositional phrase that functions as an adjective phrase. When a prepositional phrase is functioning as an adjective phrase, it is giving us additional information about a noun or pronoun in the sentence. So we can see when a prepositional phrase functions as an adjective phrase or as an adjective, it will give us additional information about noun or pronoun in a sentence. As an adjective, a prepositional phrase will answer the question, which one? If you find the answer of the question, which one, then you will understand that the prepositional phrase is adjective here. Works as adjective phrase here. Examples. The woman on the boat is my aunt. Which woman? The woman on the boat. That's why on the boat is a prepositional phrase but acts an adjective phrase here. There is a relationship between woman and the boat. The boy in the red shirt is my little brother. Which boy? The boy in the red shirt. So, in the red shirt is a prepositional phrase. It modifies a noun. It gives additional information about the boy. That's why in the red shirt, although it is a prepositional phrase, it works as an adjective phrase here. Another example. I think the light over the table has stopped working. Which light? Which one? The light over the table. So, over the table is a prepositional phrase. It gives additional information about the light. That's why it is working, it is functioning as an adjective phrase. Dear students, now we will know about prepositional phrase that functions as an adverb phrase. When a prepositional phrase functions as an adverb phrase, it is letting us know the relationship between the object of the preposition and the verb, the action or state of being. So we will find a relationship between object of the preposition and the verb of the sentence, in a sentence. More information. As an adverb, a prepositional phrase will answer questions such as how, when, or where, etc. If you find the answer of the questions how, when, or where, then you will understand that here prepositional phrase acts as an adverb phrase. Examples. She was injured badly in the accident. How was she injured? She was injured badly in the accident. In the accident. So how we find the question and answer of the question. How was she injured? How was she injured? The children ran on the playground. Here we find the answer of the questions. Where did the children run? The children ran on the playground. On the playground. We find where. We find the answer of the questions. Where? On the playground. That's why on the playground acts as an adverb phrase. Another question for you. During the show, the baby slept. So the baby slept when? During the show. So we find the answer of the questions when. That's why during the show is an adverb phrase. Although it is a prepositional phrase, here it functions as an adverb phrase. Yes, students, so I think you can easily understand in the accident, on the playground, during the show. These are prepositional phrase, but here you can also call them adverb phrase. Here they are used as adverb phrase. So you can see prepositional phrases can also be used as adjective phrase and adverb phrase. The students, now we will know about relative clause. What is relative clause? You will find the uses of relative clause as post modifier. A relative clauses are clauses starting with the relative pronouns who, that, which, whose, where, when, etc. So relative clauses are clauses that will start with relative pronouns who, that, which, whose, where, when. They are most often used to define or identify the noun that precedes them. So relative clauses are used to define or identify the noun that precedes them, that sits just before them. Example, I have bought a new car that runs very fast. That runs very fast. Here, the relative clause is that runs very fast because it starts with the relative pronoun that runs very fast, and it here defines a new car. I know the man who came here. The man who came here is relative clause. It describes the man. It gives identity of the man who came here. Now we will see the use of relative clause as post modifier. I lost the book. Use relative clause to post modify the noun. So noun is the book. We have to use a relative clause just after the noun. That will modify the book, and it will use as post modifier. I lost the book which she gave me. I lost the book which she gave me. So which she gave me is relative clause. Another example, we visited the house where our father was born. So where our father was born is my relative clause here. It acts as post modifier because it sits after the house, after the noun, and post modifies the noun, the house. So where our father was born is relative clause, and you can easily understand relative clause starts with relative pronoun. Here which she gave me starts with which. Then next one, where, relative pronoun where. Okay, so where our father was born starts with the relative pronoun where. So dear students, you can easily understand from my example what relative clause is and how it is used as post modifier. So dear students, you can see a board question here, and I'm going to solve this question now. Hope it will help you to understand modifiers better. Let's see what we have. Kazi Nazrul Islam is called the Shelley of Bengali literature. He was a pre-modify the noun poet. So he was a dash poet. Pre-modify the noun. Here noun is poet. We have to use a word before the noun, before poet. Generally, we use an adjective to pre-modify the noun. So here I can use a great poet, great. I can use a famous poet. I can use a renowned poet. He wrote, post-modify the verb in every branch of Bengali literature. He wrote. Here my verb is wrote. I have to use a post modifier. I have to post modify the verb wrote. So generally an adverb is used to post modify or pre-modify the verb. So he wrote almost in every branch of Bengali literature. You can use other words, but I have used almost. Or you can use he wrote successfully in every branch of Bengali literature. Nazrul used an appositive, won the attention of everyone in his early childhood. Dear students, you have already known about appositive. And appositive is a noun or noun phrase that sitting next to the noun describes or renames the noun. So we have to use appositive here. We have to use appositive of Nazrul. So we can use the national poet of Bangladesh. We can use the rebel poet of Bangladesh. Won the attention of everyone in his early childhood. So Nazrul, the national poet of Bangladesh, or the rebel poet, won the attention of everyone in his early childhood. He wrote ceaselessly until the death of, use possessive pronoun, poetic flair. So we know what are the possessive pronouns. His, your, our, their, its, etc. are possessive pronouns. So here I have to use the possessive pronoun of he. Kazi Nazrul Islam, he. So the possessive pronoun of he is his. He wrote ceaselessly until the death of his poetic flair. He composed his songs. Use an infinitive phrase to post modify the verb. We have to use an infinitive phrase. An infinitive phrase consists of an infinitive plus other words. So here I can use, he composed his songs to inspire the nation, to inspire the people. His songs are, use an intensifier to pre-modify the adjective melodious. His songs are intensifier. We have to use intensifier. You know what are the intensifiers? Intensifiers are adverbs that give emphasis or that give force on the actions of the verbs in a sentence. So we can use here we can use very. His songs are very melodious, highly melodious. He enriched the Bengali literature. Use an adverb to post modify the verb. We have to use an adverb. Here verb is enriched. So he enriched the Bengali literature. How? He enriched the Bengali literature highly, greatly. We can use greatly here. His literary works have enriched. Use a noun adjective literature. His literary works have enriched. We have to use a noun adjective. A noun adjective is a noun that sitting before another noun will act as a noun adjective, act as an adjective. So here we can use he has enriched, his literary works have enriched Bangla literature or Bengali literature. He was, use an article, secular poet. So we have to use here a. He was a secular poet. He sang the songs of equality. Use an adverbial phrase. We have to use an adverbial phrase. So he sang the songs of equality throughout his life, during his life, etc. So the students, I think from these board questions, as I have solved it, I think you have easily understood how actually you have to use the grammatical topics or grammatical points here into the gaps. Answers, I've given the answers here for you. First one is great or famous, adjective. Second one is adverb, almost. C is our national poet or the rebel poet, appositive of Kazi Nazrul Islam. D, possessive of he, his. E, to inspire the people, to inspire the nation, infinitive phrase. To inspire, infinitive plus the people or the nation, infinitive phrase. F, very, intensifier. G, greatly, adverb. H, Bengali, noun adjective, Bengali or Bangla. I, a, article, and J, adverb or phrase throughout his life. Let's move to the next slide. Homework for you. Yes, students, before leaving, I'm going to give you homework so that you can practice at home, study at home. So homework for you, you have to practice all the board questions of the year 2016 on modifiers. Practice these board questions of the year 2016 at home. And of course, you have to show me the answers when the college reopens. So, dear students, I have taken 3 classes on modifiers, and in my 3 classes, I have discussed modifiers, types of modifiers, pre-modifiers, post-modifiers. I have also discussed some important grammatical points, grammatical topics that are very necessary for doing modifiers. These are determiners, adjectives, adverb of phrase, participle phrase, noun adjective, infinitive phrase, appositive, prepositional phrase, intensifier, and relative clauses. So if you understand these grammatical topics very well, then it will be very easy for you to do modifiers actually. Hope these classes will help you to get an overall idea about this topic, topic modifiers, and help you to solve any problem regarding modifiers. Despite this, if you face any problem, please then inform me, and I will try to solve your problems. So dear students, I have to stop here today. So thank you very much. Thank you for watching me, and thank you for joining in my class. Hope I will come very soon with another class.